Hi, welcome back. So, continuing on tying the Casablanca here, but essentially I suppose it's a separate video in a way. So we're going to put a deer hair belly on a classic sort of streamer pattern. So, deer hair, or a bucktail, shall we call it. The base of a bucktail, the fibres that come off here are quite pithy, and whenever you put tension on your thread, they will tend to splay. All bucktail does to a certain extent. However, the bits at the tip of a bucktail tend to be straightest, least crimped, and also least tendency to flare. So I would tend to choose my bellies from the tip, certainly from say the top third or so of the bucktail. So I'm going to take a bunch out of there. I'll trim it off as close to the skin as I can so that I get the most length that I have available to me. So I then grab it sort of 2/3 of the way along and give it a bit of a knock to get any of the real short stuff out, because we don't need any extra bulk up here because it's not going to actually contribute to the overall length and look of the throat at all. So we get rid of the short stuff. Then some people will put it in a stacker. You can do that if you want, and you'll get a. To me, it's a bit unnatural, the block end. So what I would tend to do is to pull out fibres that are sort of noticeably much longer than the others, and I'll end up with more of a taper, I suppose, towards the end of my bunch. So. How much do you want? I suppose it depends how heavy of a fly you're going to tie, in a way, a heavily dressed fly that you're going to tie. I would also sort of look at it and see is there a curve to it, by the way, and then I'll get the curve going up, and therefore that'll keep it underneath. So how much you put underneath depends on the balance of the fly as well. So the wings, the structure that's going to go on top, so it's a very big and dense wing. I probably go a little bit heavier on these as well, and I would aim for it to come a little bit past the bend. Some people will have it coming just down here level. I'd probably go a little bit beyond. So I'll offer it up underneath the shank once I get it for length. Fingers across and pinch it, and what I'll do is I'll put a wrap, loosish wrap there, just to hold it under. We'll wrap back over that. There's no real tension on this yet because I don't want it to flare. And then I'm going to go forward, and then as I get beyond that sort of tie-in, I'm going to tighten up my thread and snip it. Tighten up our wraps as we get forward here a bit. And then I'm going to pull that down, sort of straight down, and then I'll cut it. And what it should do is give us a little bit of taper in it as we go forward. And bind that down. That'll keep that in place. And then we're going to go backwards again, but we're not. The last wrap that goes on, I don't want to be super tight because I don't want it to flare the bucktail. So we're tying it in a little bit tighter here, and then the last couple of turns or so, not just as tight, and that will hold that nicely up underneath. So at this point, if there's any fibres that are sticking out that you don't like the look of, like this short one that we've missed, I'll just pull it down, pull it up to the tie-in point, and nick it off. So I suppose next consideration is that we'll put in our underwing. So Peacock HERL. I've seen some oldish flies where they seem to put in a big lump of it and cut it, which looks very unnatural. So take a bit of time over picking the peacock feather that you're going to use. So I'm going for one here where there's quite hefty fibres on it, if that makes sense to you. And I'm going to pick ones from up here this time. So I'll pick 3 out from one side. I'll take them, I'll set them on my knee, and then I'll take the sort of 3 corresponding ones roughly ish from the far side. And then I will get them grabbed in my hand. Now, Peacock HERL, as you know, has a sort of flat stalk to it, so it can tend to flip itself quite easily. So I'll take those 3, take the other 3, get them matched up for length. In my hand, and then okay, so there's our bunch held now. So I'm going to go roughly out to the length of the belly here, maybe a little bit more. And as you see, I'm choosing this bit because it has the hump going this way, and then it tends to turn up a little bit again just at the point. So once it's in place, I will hold it sort of loosely until I get a wrap on it, and trying to trap all these fibres down on their flat without them flipping over. And then I'll do a couple of turns forward again. And then we'll trim off these ends. And then wrap backwards onto it. And there we have our belly and our underwing on our classic streamer type fly. And there will be more installments to come on this one. Instead of some of the videos that you've seen me do where I've tied a fly from start to finish, but you can't really get into as much detail, I suppose, on it. So we're doing this one in installments. And so if you like what you see, look for the previous installments, look for the ones that are going to come, tell your friends, like, subscribe, and until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.